fuck am I even making a guide for a chibi game with a population less stable than my future? Hello everyone, my name is Equinox. Actually, no it's not. Who the fuck would name their kid Equinox? Anyway, I guess today I'm going to show you how to do the Chaos Devorak raid in GMS 2. And no, not the normal version. I mean the one that's actually worth anything.
Your fate is sealed.
Alright, I'm going to try and run through this as quickly as possible while being as thorough as possible, because honestly, none of us like to read guides online, and we need to grind other shit. Oh my god, I still need to get my fucking nogs for the week, man. Alright, so first things first, you need 4500 gear score to access your first Chaos raid, and the game even gives you a neat little guideline on how to get there, but I would not follow these guidelines strictly, because you will need more power to not be dead weight for your team. Honestly, that guideline's such bullshit. Anywho, once you have the gear score for it, which I should have just enough probably, it's time to do Hard Shadow Altar. So, at the start, just get on your epic ground mount, since it's the only mount you can use in dungeons, and run your ass over to Devorak. Keep your distance to look out for which move he'll start with, either his homing explosive shadows that appear as orange tiles and will detonate after a second or two, or his ground slam that will leave a purple pool which, if stepped on, will remove your ability to use spirit entirely for about 15 seconds and also does 40% of your HP per second if you stand in it. Alright, if you nearly get hit by it, that's a 6-second stun. And if you get hit by it, that's a one-shot, chief. Note, he will always go a certain distance for the slam, so feel free to get close and deal damage. But for the orange tiles, I would just move away, because he can send them literally anywhere. Mainly right underneath him. Because yes, unless your buff is shit or barely off the tiles, you will get one shot. After his first attack, the priest will put down holy symbol in the center of the mainland for everyone to dish out as much damage as possible. Dev also has two other attacks that he uses frequently. The first being his force spread, where he clears his immediate area, not really doing much damage, but reducing the efficiency of consumable healing by 30% for a decent amount of time, which is why many choose to remove the auto heals from their combat pets. Not me, because fuck you. This is still able to knock you away into unsavory spots or even off the map, but you can somewhat counter this by using an ability that goes against knockback, a good example being Impact for the Rune Blades. The second attack involves his homing curse shadows, which will target the 4 players furthest away from him, so you want to dash to him when he does so. But later on in the raid, after he comes back to the mainland, these shadows now target the 4 people closest to him, so keep that in mind.
I will destroy you! Go, my shadows! There is no escape! The shadows will engulf you! You shall be my sacrifice!
Keep damaging him until around 93% of his health is left, at which point he'll realize that he has to prove his Chad level by beating his chest and teleporting away from the mainland to what I call Platform A.
The power! It fills me! Burn, O dark flame!
As soon as that AoE appears under him, everyone typically converges in front of him so that the knight, being the beautiful souls they are, can use Bulwark to shield everyone from the concussion blast as soon as he does this motion here. Once the AoE is blocked, get ready to latch onto him, not as soon as he jumps, but while he is coming down. If timed right, you teleport along with him to Platform A, saving you some health instead of crossing the poison lake that weakens your attack, and gives you more uptime on your DPS.
Pathetic. Try to keep up. This is pointless! I'm over here!
Don't worry, you will still miss on occasion because Nexon is unaware of the term optimization, and it only gets worse from here. Fuck, just wait till CMOC. As Devorak teleports away, special ads spawn in the middle of the lake, either blazing or freezing boogles, which can be dealt with in different ways. The most convenient one involving the knight using their Typhoon Slash to gather and drag the ads to the entrance, glitching them through the wall to be dealt with once Dev returns to the mainland. Or having a happy-go-lucky wizard use the opposite element to take care of them immediately. I mean, Runeblades are also capable of handling them, but wizards are overpowered. Change my mind. Continue to damage and dodge, but on these platforms, there are spots where 2 junior Devoraks can appear to heal him for a good chunk of health, because yes. A good thing to note is that they always appear when Dev is about to perform another attack, so timing is about as predictable as the fucking Patriots somehow going to the Super Bowl again. Anywho, it's true that any class can take care of the ads by either climbing behind this tree thing, or by going up the steps in the back to use a long-range move to deal with them. But that's more for backup in case of screwing up worse than Brexit. What you're going to want is preferably either a wizard, heavy gunner, or runeblade to take care of them quickly, because they can appear randomly when Dev is about to attack, so you need verticality to deal with the little ones swiftly. Gotta go Anakin on their ass. Wizards,
what's shaking?
Use the same move you use for everything, aka Flame Tornado. Heavy gunners,
what's up?
You use homing missiles, I assume. Rune Blades.
Hail!
We're a bit trickier. Using Storm Chasm, using either this path or this path for platform A, preferably the latter one, and this path on platform B, starting here, to get both of them in one go. And don't worry, you only need 1 point on Chasm to do so. Be aware, however, Dev can still move you mid-Chasm with his Force Spread or Curse Shadows, making you miss. If you happen to miss one, quickly position yourself and use a Storm Impact, because a secondary Lightning Bolt will reach it. Make sure the role for dealing with healing adds is decided beforehand, so only one person is on standby, like I am right now. The only thing really different is Dev's center attack. Towards the beginning and at random points, Devorak will teleport to the center of the platform and launch a massive gut laser that will erase anybody in its path unprepared, going either clockwise or counterclockwise. Typically, unless there's a secondary knight, the knight will not shield this laser, so just stay behind him before the charge and run. Note the direction he aimed at first, so that way you can run to a point above 360 degrees because it will always go 360. My man's is a trick shotter. With a quarter of his health gone, Dev will repeat that large AoE, but as of recently, since most players now have safe riding as a prestige 100 bonus, or they simply don't care, the knight will not shield this AoE, so immediately get on your epic mount and ride away to platform B. If done right, you can attack him the second he arrives. Rinse and repeat, though at this point his gut laser is not only faster, but it can go back and forth, so watch for that. Once he's about 55%, he'll give the whole team a Lewinsky level suck and pull everyone into the lake, converging at a similar point. That's because he wants to slap the shit out of everyone there. So it's time for another bulwark at around this point. Once blocked, get out of the pool while this whale takes a second to recover, and get to around this point just above the stairs, using long range moves to damage him some more. Eventually he'll use his laser, this time always going counterclockwise, so as soon as you see him prepping it, move to this block right here, and once the laser passes by it, this block right here for safety. After that laser, Dev will return to the mainland to get damaged some more and will occasionally teleport to the riverbank on either the right or left side of the mainland, lasering in a straight line and then either going left or right very slowly, so keep your distance to make use of it. Either that, or if a knight would like to block one of these lasers for some odd reason, stay with them. Like, you can also stand by Dev in the lake at the cost of damage and health, but I mean, hey, the Germans went to Russia during the winter, so I'm not going to question your train of thought. At around 40% of his health, that next teleport will be to either platform A or platform B, so make use of your minimap or directional audio since you can actually hear the rest of his audio cue from the platform he teleported to. He rarely lasers during this phase, but the healing adds can still appear, and I should have mentioned this before, but if he teleports to the other platform while the adds are still charging their heal, they will send the heal cross-platform. Please stay back and kill them. Additionally, now he will slam down his staff and place down a dark flame on a random quadrant of the platform.
Altars, rise! Burn!
And yes, it can even be the very area where the healing adds are, so now would be the time to make use of the backups if you're a bit squishy, since the dark flame does some nasty things. But you can still quickly execute your abilities and yeet out of there. When Dev wants to switch platforms, a good marker to predict his teleport is the fact that just before he does so, the Dark Flame quadrant disappears. Rinse and repeat until 15% of his health is left, at which point he will return to the mainland again. Do some more damage until he gets to around 10%, where he will teleport to the center of the lake again and Sasha Grey that shit. Deja vu. After the slam, Dev will fire a laser that does not go back and forth, so use that to your advantage before grabbing onto him as he teleports back to the mainland. From here, Devorak will fire his laser back and forth and then teleport to different parts of the mainland, so no worries if you miss here. Rarely he can teleport back to the center of the lake and fail to suck everyone in, so keep an eye out for that. But for the most part, the mainland will be his resting place and you have successfully completed CDev. Now do that shit 2 more times in a day and 3 more times in a week to get the most out of it, because you can only run a unique chaos raid 3 times a day, 6 times a week, which is why I will roast you if I find you doing the normal version of either Shadow Altar or Moonlight Fortress, because they share the same clear limit as their hard counterparts. To close off this guide, I just want to give some personal tips for Shadow Altar or any of the chaos raids in general. First, note the little ticks on the health bar of bosses. That's not just a pretty design, there are 10 of them, each one at 10% of a boss's health, so you can gauge progress through that. Another thing would be to invest in some Lapin tiers. See those blue and red stars in your currency tab? The fuck are those, you ask? Double click that shit and it opens their shops. For blue stars, the only thing that's really worth anything in my opinion are shockwave Lapin tiers, which deal a nice amount of damage and have a 20-second cooldown, so use it wisely. Red stars can give you 2 useful laps, one of which is more universal, and that would be the healing aura Lapin tier, which heals you and up to 5 allies in a 3-meter radius for for 30% of their respective health totals, and it has half the cooldown of a shockwave, so if you're squishy, prioritize this. This is most useful in CDev since the healing debuff does not affect healing aura. The other possible one you can use if you're a heavy hitter and is much more situational is the Rooted Strength weapon tier, possessing a 60-second cooldown and an 80% decrease in speed for 10 seconds, but also granting a delicious 30% damage increase in exchange. Since you're watching this guide, I'd only use it when you're much stronger and know when the boss will stay in one place for a bit. Please note, all of the weapon tiers share cooldowns, so once you use one, you can't use another until that cooldown ends. Congrats, you've somehow reached the end of this guide. Hopefully you got something out of it, and I hope you have luck in clearing your first Chaos Raid. For the next guide, that will be on Hard Moonlight Fortress, which is Chaos Captain Mach, the buggiest of all 4 Chaos Raids in the game. For that, I will prepare a special cocktail of ammonia and bleach. Oh god, this is gonna fucking suck.